But first tonight, when children are sexually abused by educators, should the school be held financially responsible? Some people think they should be. Investigative reporter Scott Knoll is here to explain why.
Take a look at this. This is the number of teacher-student relationship investigations done by the Texas Education Agency. 5 years ago, it was 163. By last school year, though, it had skyrocketed all the way up to 302. That's an increase of more than 85% over the last 5 years. Now some are saying it's clear criminal penalties just aren't enough. They say if you want to turn this trend around, what you need to do is hit school districts right in the wallet. Behind the wrought iron fence and gates, inside the perimeter, monitored by cameras and security, the safety of their 3 kids at school, hardly a worry for these parents.
We were so worried about what was on the outside that we weren't concentrating on what was in the inside.
Then came the letter. KIPP Explore Academy telling parents guidance counselor Brandon McElveen was charged with indecency with a child. What that letter didn't mention was that child was a 2nd grader at the school. The allegations unbelievable to this mom.
I was upset. Our whole family was upset.
But the allegations kept coming. In the next 2 weeks, McElveen was charged with touching 2 more elementary schoolers. That's when their daughter opened up to another counselor.
My daughter disclosed that she would sit on his lap.
We hid the parents' faces to protect their daughter's identity.
She would feel him touching against her leg and touching against her bottom.
They say the behavior went on for years.
You believe, without a doubt, that school knew what was going on?
I do.
I do.
I feel like there has to have been somebody.
But when they tried to get answers from KIPP, they say they learned a whole new lesson from the school.
It's like their priorities, KIPP. That's their priority. Not the children, not what happened, but KIPP. They got to keep that name clean.
Desperate for answers, they hired attorney Josh Verdi. But before he could file suit, KIPP went to court and kept Verdi from even interviewing school employees.
No matter what it is, the first thing they're going to do in response is assert immunity.
Government immunity, an ages-old precedent that the government, including public schools, can't be sued. Gerald Treese is KHOU 11's legal analyst.
The best way that I've ever seen it explained is that the government represents all of us, and therefore it's kind of inconsistent to be able to sue yourself.
Verdi also represents a Katy High grad who's suing the district after her former art teacher pleaded guilty to having an inappropriate relationship with her. Katy ISD claimed immunity in that case, which is still pending in court. It's a defense Verdi believes schools hide behind to not only avoid paying victims, but also to keep parents from finding out who knew what when.
The potential for concealing what really happened in certain instances is really, it's there and it's dangerous.
Do you believe school districts are using this law to hide allegations against teachers?
It certainly enables them to do so.
And that disgusts Randy Burton.
You think the school is going to be in your corner?
He's founder of the advocacy group Justice for Children.
I'm here to say that that's not the case. When push comes to shove, they're going to be protecting the school.
A former prosecutor, he believes it's time lawmakers get rid of immunity in student-teacher sex cases.
Schools know this. If I hit them with this god-awful lawsuit based upon these terrible facts, the school does this because they know that there's nothing that can be done to them.
But not everyone thinks holding schools responsible for the actions of a bad teacher will make a difference. The Texas Association of School Boards represents more than 1,000 districts. In a statement to KHOU 11 Investigates, a spokesperson wrote, holding a school district financially responsible for the secret, unauthorized criminal acts of an employee would punish everyone. Adding, when school funds are used to pay damages in a lawsuit, the taxpayers foot the bill. The group also points out school employees are already legally required to report abuse. But Verdi believes that's not enough.
The evidence of that is the fact that we continually see these stories in the news. To me, that indicates a problem, a real problem within the school system that's not being addressed.
Brush under the rug.
In the meantime, these parents wonder if they'll ever get answers in their daughter's case.
There's more protection for the schools than there is for the kids. And the schools are there for the kids.
We just want to know what happened, and you're preventing that. Why?
In a statement, KIPP didn't address why it went to court to block that investigation. Instead, the superintendent wrote, "We continue to be outraged by the allegations, which, if proven true, are inexcusable. We stand together with our families and the community in demanding that justice be served against Mr. McElveen." The guidance counselor is awaiting trial on 3 counts of indecency with a child. He has not been criminally charged with anything connected to the girl whose parents you saw there in the story. Her parents say that's because she's still too shaken to talk about the details of what happened to her. Standing for Houston, I'm Scott Knoll, KHOU 11 Investigates.